What is going on, internet? My name is Lou, and I usually make Linux videos and I put them on the internet. But I just got home from the gym and I'm about to make my post workout meal. But I figured I'd do a quick video, a vlog, basically letting you guys know why I chose to buy my new car. Now, for those that watched my latest channel update, you know that I bought a new BMW 335 Xi. Well, new to me anyway. It's a certified pre-owned BMW, but we'll get more into that. So, for those that watched the update, you know that when I've been thinking about purchasing a new car, and I had a few cars in mind, and I was really battling on which to choose. And I'm going to tell you why I decided on the BMW. So, in the forefront, I just want to let you guys know that I'm a car guy. I love cars. I've owned a lot of cars over the years, and there's something about a car that I really really enjoy. I love to drive. I love spending time with my vehicle. It's just therapeutic for me. Believe it or not, I'm sick. I have this crazy problem. I mean, even on a nice summer day, what I think is a good time is, bringing the radio outside, putting on some music, grabbing some nice ice cold beverages, and washing and waxing my car. That for me is fun. That is therapeutic. Love going out for drives for just no reason. Just getting in the car and driving for the sake of driving. So I just really love cars, and I wanted to make the next one that I bought very, very special. So for those of you who may or may not know, the car I used to have was a Mustang. It was a 4.6 liter V8. It was kind of an impulse buy for me. I've owned a Camaro years ago, about 10 years ago now. I bought a Camaro, and a really nice Camaro. In fact, it was the last year that they made the Camaro, and I had one, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice car. I found this Mustang with 5,000 miles on it for a steal of a price, and I bought it just because of how low the miles were, and I've never had, a V8 Mustang. So the only thing I did to it was I did tune it. I tuned the ECU. I did throw a cold air intake on it, and I did some body modifications. Aside from that, that's all I did. The car was fun. It was a 5-speed manual. I had a good time with it, but it is rear-wheel drive, and I do live in New England. And I was looking for something more like a turbocharged vehicle rather than the grunty V8. So for me, I knew I wanted something turbocharged. I knew I wanted something all-wheel drive, so I can drive it all year round, and regardless of the season or the weather, it's not going to really inhibit me getting back and forth to work or doing what I need to do. And I knew I wanted something that would really allow me to enjoy the driving process. So I narrowed my cars down to the Mitsubishi Evolution, the Subaru WRX Sti, the BMW 335 Xi, or I was even considering the Audi, an RS4, even an RS5. So those are the vehicles that I was looking at. Now, if I was going to go with either the Mitsubishi Evolution or the the Subaru Sti, I was going to buy those brand new. Bare bones, you're looking at probably about 35,000, 36,000. Just as they come without optioning them up. If you were to option these things up, both the Mitsubishi as well as the STI would probably run you, I don't know, 40,000, which is a lot of money. So, for me, what are you really paying for in those vehicles? You're paying for an engine, a transmission, and an all-wheel drive system. Those cars are rally cars. They're meant for enthusiasts. They are not made for creature comforts. They're made for doing one thing, and that is just driving. Driving aggressively and driving fast. And that's part of why I love those cars. Whereas the BMW and the Audi, those are kind of a combination of luxury and sports car. You could argue, and there's a lot of articles out there that say, the BMW 335 is as close as you're going to get to an M3 for half the price. And I would have to agree. It is definitely no M3, but it's as close as you're going to get to an M3 for half the price. And it's a fantastic car. And the Audi RS4 or the RS5 are also really nice. Now, in terms of engine and power, they all are roughly around the same, except for the Audi. That's probably the one that's farthest off, but they're all around 300 horsepower. The Evo's like 291, I believe. I think the STI's around 320. The the BMW is 305, and torque all around the same, 300 foot-pounds of torque. Now the big difference in the BMW is you receive that torque, your peak torque, at about 13 or 1400 RPM. Whereas in something like the Mitsubishi EVO or even in the WRX, you don't receive that peak torque until roughly, around 4000 to 5000 RPM. So, you've got to really drive those cars high into the power band before you get that grunt and growl of the torque. And you're almost redlining something like the EVO to get the maximum 291 horsepower as well. Whereas you get maximum horsepower around 5800 RPM in the BMW, and it redlines at 7,000. So you get a lot more low-end grunt and growl in the BMW, low in the RPM range, which means your day-to-day driving, you're going to really feel the power of the vehicle. And I really like that. Now, you've got inline four-cylinder engines in both the Mitsubishi Evolution as well as the Subaru WRX Sti. And in the BMW, you get a inline six-cylinder engine. You get a single turbocharger in both the Mitsubishi EVO and the STI, and in the BMW you get a twin scroll turbo. So engine specs are a little bit different there. I like the higher displacement in the BMW, and the thing is, it's just a rocket ship. So and what you also get in the BMW is luxury. Now, I do spend some time on the road for what I do for a living, and I do, this car was going to be a daily driver, not just a weekend kind of track car or a fun car. So I wanted something that if I was going to pay that kind of money, I wanted to not only enjoy driving the car, but I wanted some creature comforts as well. And in the BMW, I have the M Sport package, which gives me quite a bit. Of course, you've got the M Sport front fascia, you've got the M Sport rear diffuser, you have the M Sport side skirts. It comes with the M Sport steering wheel. It's a thicker steering wheel, a little bit smaller, a little bit thicker. You've got the M Sport wheels, so it's got 18-inch M Sport wheels. Of course, you got all the M Sport badging on the door sills, on the steering wheel, on the wheels itself, which is really nice. It comes with a 6-speed Steptronic transmission, which I really was going back and forth on this. I'm a manual guy. I love a manual transmission, but I do drive in quite a bit of traffic back and forth to work. And of course, all of the newer supercars are coming with dual clutch transmissions or variations of dual clutch. And the Steptronic, it's not a dual clutch transmission, but it does come with the sport paddle shifters, and it works similar to a dual clutch transmission. I also have the premium package, which means, of course, I've got the real leather. I've got the tech package, so I've got navigation, the iPod integration, all that good stuff. I've also got the cold weather package and the convenience package. So this thing is loaded out. I mean, brand new, this car is upwards of about 55 to 58,000. A lot of money. I will say I would never spend that kind of money on this car brand new. I think that's BMW is insane for charging that kind of money for a 335. I mean, it's a great car, but it's not 58,000. No way. It's definitely overpriced. Your best bet is to find one pre-owned and certified pre-owned. I've still got over a year and a half left on the factory warranty, and then it's certified. So I have 2 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first, beyond the factory warranty. So it's almost like buying a brand new car with that warranty, because the argument, of course, is the cost of ownership in the BMW because of maintenance. Now, while you're on the factory warranty, it's zero cost maintenance, so all the maintenance, including oil changes and all that stuff, is free. And when you come off of the factory warranty and you get onto the certified pre-owned, the certified warranty covers powertrain, so anything engine related, transmission related, front end and rear end as well. So really anything that could break that's really expensive is going to be covered in the certified pre-owned warranty. So I bought my car with less than 30,000 miles on it, and I got over $20,000. The price was reduced by over $20,000 because of the mileage. So that's definitely the way to go. So not only do I get the performance in the BMW, but I also get all of the creature comforts. The one nice thing that I really liked about the EVO and the STI is, of course, they're four-door sedans. I'm a coupe guy. I prefer the look and styling of a coupe. I definitely think that out of all of those cars, the BMW is the most gorgeous. The thing, especially the coupe. I'm not a big fan of the four-door sedan for the BMW 335. However, the clean lines of the 335 in a coupe version it's gorgeous. I hate the taillights on the sedan, but on the coupe, it's perfect. The other thing that's nice with the sport package that I have is it also has the M Sport suspension. So part of that suspension is it also lowers the car by about 10 millimeters. So the car really sits nice and low to the ground. And I'll tell you, the all-wheel drive system, although it's not tunable like the EVOs or the STIs, meaning you can kind of adjust the power distribution between the front and the rear wheels depending on the kind of driving conditions you're in, whether it's raining or snowing or icy, tarmac, that sort of thing. But the all-wheel drive system in the BMW is really nice. It's an intelligent all-wheel drive system, and by that I mean it has a rear wheel bias, so it shifts most of the power to the rear wheels, and then the computer will basically kind of detect the driving conditions and force more power to the front wheels. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I'm able to kick the back end of that car out if I give it enough throttle, almost like it's a rear-wheel drive car. So it's kind of the best of both worlds if you like rear-wheel drive cars. Especially in good weather, you're going to basically have most of the power going to the rear wheels. The one thing if I were to pick one thing about this car that drives me nuts, is it has something called the drive-by-wire system, and by that it means it does not have a throttle cable like most other cars. It's a sensor. So when you hit the gas on this car, the feel of it is a little bit different. It doesn't feel like you're hitting it's nothing like my Mustang. In fact, I've got an SUV that my wife normally drives, and when I get in that car, I'm slamming on the gas because I'm so used to really having to lay into the gas in the BMW. But other than that, that had to really it took some time for me to get used to that drive-by-wire system instead of having that throttle cable. Now I've driven a host of different BMW 3 Series, and all of them have that, and they all feel the same way. So it's just a little bit getting used to that sensor as opposed to throttle cable. But other than that, when the turbos kick in on this thing, it's outrageous. Now it's got a few different modes in the transmission. Of course, you've got the standard drive mode or comfort mode, which offers you the most fuel economy. And that mode is really for just cruising around. It's not for a jerky, aggressive ride. It's really meant for a nice, smooth ride. The throttle response is definitely kicked down, and it's just for cruising around and for just a comfort. Then you can, flip the transmission into your drive sport mode. Now, it's like a different car. When you put this thing into drive sport, it holds those RPMs. It's brilliant. The drive sport mode in this car is brilliant. I feel as though at times if I had a manual transmission, I feel like I would be shifting the gears very similar to the way it shifts gears on its own. Even when I'm braking into turns, at high speed, it'll downshift and then it'll hold the RPMs real high, so I have a lot of power into that turn, and then it'll shift up as I come out of that corner. It's just brilliant. It really is. So even in an automatic mode, when you put it into sport, it's awesome. Now, from the studying I've done, when it's in drive sport mode, it does not use the sixth gear. It only goes up to fifth gear. To get into sixth gear in the sport mode, you'd have to shift it into the fully manual mode, which to get it into that mode, all you have to do is take the paddle shifters or down on the shift lever, manually shift up and it'll go into sixth gear. So for highway driving, when you're in sport mode, that's how you would do it. The Steptronic transmission is pretty good. I would definitely prefer a dual clutch transmission. I think it would shift a little faster. At times the Steptronic can be a little sluggish, but for the most part it's pretty good. Especially in traffic, I can just flip the car back into normal automatic mode, and then get out of traffic and flip it back into sport mode and manually shift the car and hold the RPMs up real high. What's nice is it does take some getting used to those paddle shifters. My mind is wired to just shift the car manually, and I had to really learn how to use these shifters. So what's nice is the transmission won't allow you to shift up or down if it's going to cause the engine to over rev and do damage. So it'll prevent you from doing that, which is very helpful when you're trying to really get the hang of it. And when you're in manual mode, it will actually downshift for you if you don't do it on your own. Now, the only caveat to this is if you wait too long to downshift, and I've caught this right at the right time a few times. I meant to downshift into second, and I downshifted like a split second after the computer downshifted as well. So instead of going down in a second, I went into first. And the RPMs, of course, shot way up. But luckily for me, I was turning into my driveway, so it wasn't like, I was going super fast. And again, it wouldn't have allowed me to make that downshift if it was going to hurt the engine at all. So you got to get the timing a little bit right. Generally, when you're downshifting, if the car falls below 1,000 RPMs, it's going to downshift for you. So I don't downshift a lot in manual mode anymore. I kind of let it do that unless I want to pass somebody, or I'm downshifting from like a high gear, like sixth into fifth, or fifth into fourth, or fourth into third. But if I'm hanging out anywhere near second or first, I let the car kind of do its own thing. So I mean, I even the person who purchased the car before me even paid for BMW Assist, which is like a roadside assistance concierge type service, which carries over to me as well. So I benefit from that for the next year and a half or so. So anyway, the car is just brilliant. And in terms of money, you can pick one up. Now, optioned the way I have it, which is literally pretty much every option under the sun. The color is black sapphire metallic, and the inside is a saddle brown leather. And of course, it has the M Sport package, so things like the doors and a few other parts of the car are two-tone, black and saddle brown. So it plays so nicely off each other. It looks gorgeous. The car is truly an ultimate driving machine. It's my first BMW I've ever owned, and I'm sold on the brand. I really am. It's just it's a joy to drive. It's a joy to drive fast. It's a joy to just tool around town. It's just a phenomenal vehicle. I can't say enough good things about it. And if you find the right one for the right price, you can get them for a certified pre-owned 335 Xi, optioned out to the max for about the same price as you can buy an EVO brand new or an STI brand new. So, that's what you're looking at in terms of cost. And those are the reasons why I really chose the BMW over the EVO and the STI. The EVO and the STI are phenomenal vehicles. It really came down to me, to the EVO and the BMW. Those are the two cars that I just constantly kept thinking about. But at the end of the day, I just kept coming back to the BMW, and I knew that for me, that was the car for me. I just kept coming back to it. So that's why I chose the BMW 335 over the EVO, over the STI, and even over the Audi RS4, RS5. Absolutely love the car. Again, I'm probably going to be picking up a GoPro camera so I can do some video of the vehicle. I've got some modifications in mind that I may want to do as well. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, we will talk to you later.